What's up, YouTube? Just sitting here enjoying my morning coffee, having a fire. It's a really cold day outside, but I was sitting here thinking about you guys. There's lots of videos on the internet on how to do laminate flooring. It's pretty easy, it just clicks together, right? But what happens when it gets hard? What happens when you get to the stairs? Today, I'm gonna show you how to build a set of stairs with laminate or vinyl plank flooring, and we're gonna take it one step further. We're gonna glue it down instead of pinning it down. So when we were renovating this house, I opted to leave the stairs undone. I didn't want to damage the nosings, moving everything back into the house, the tables and the furniture and the beds, and especially the heavy appliances. These nosings are a little bit different. They're a flush mount nosing, not a top mount. They're very expensive. During COVID, they were hard to order, so I opted to leave the stairs unfinished while we moved in. So this is how we start laying out for the risers. Don't overcomplicate it, it's fairly simple. Take a piece of your laminate, put it on the top of your nosing, mark your verticals. And this is just a template just to show you guys. Obviously I have the stringers on already. Okay, so you'll have some vertical lines similar to that. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna lay this to that line and you're basically gonna connect the dots. Here's another one here. You're basically gonna connect the dots from point A to point B, and that is how you would put your stringer on and your stairs would get cut out. So there's your tread, there's your riser, tread, riser, so on and so on. And then you're gonna have to fit it and adjust it as you go, but that'll get you the rough dimension to get your stringers on. So the stringers are now on to the basic dimension. You can see there's a little bit of gap there. There's a little bit of gap there. And I still have to fill in this top part, but it fits pretty good. And you'll see right here, there's a joint because obviously one board doesn't do the whole stringer. So I put a joint there, filled that in. The reason we put the stringers on first is when we put our riser on, the vinyl is wider than that gap. So it will cover that gap. And we'll put all those on and then we'll start working on our treads. So both sides are on. When you build one side, you can build the other side. Use the first one as a template. You can see this nosing here too. I left out just a strip there to kind of protect the flooring in the meantime while we were moving in. So now it's time to do the stairs. Just make sure they're cleaned properly, vacuumed properly, and then we're getting ready to start gluing everything down. I have everything set aside, labeled, ready to go. I pre-fit everything, pulled them all off, put them in nice order. There's the risers up there, so as I'm gluing everything, I can just kind of do everything in order. One of the things I had to do some research on was the proper glue to glue down this laminate. And the reason we want to glue it down is so that you don't get that slapping feeling when the floor or the stairs are slightly uneven. This laminate comes, it's an industrial grade laminate, and it comes with, vinyl, and it comes with a rubber backing, kind of an underlayment attached to it. And so I wanted to make sure that the glue we were using stuck to the stairs as well as the rubber backing. That can be a little difficult. Vinyl and rubber are sometimes hard to glue to. So what we found was this Roberts 3300 multi-purpose adhesive. It works really good. We tried on this sample here. I glued a 2x4 to the back of it, and it seemed to adhere very, very well. It doesn't move on it, won't come off, but it's still quite pliable, which means if you ever need to take it apart and reapply something to it, you could, which is a pretty nice option. So we're gonna use that on these stairs, and that should adhere this to the wood stairs. So now at this point, I have the stringers on, I have the risers on, I have the treads on, and the nosings on. And I've labeled them so that when I peel them all off to glue them, I've labeled the risers 1, the tread 1, and the nosing 1, and so on, so I can keep track when I pull them all off, all the way down to 4 and 5. And then I can put them back in the exact same way. Stairs are never straight and square, so I've cut them to fit properly. And now we can take them all off in order, glue them, put them all back on in the same order so they fit properly. And then we can tape them all together and wait for them to dry. And you can see there's a few gaps here. We're gonna go in silicone everything with a translucent silicone so you can't see the gaps. And obviously we still have to finish up this piece on the riser, which we can do at any time now. And so we're gonna let this set up for a little bit. The reason I chose this vinyl, it's a commercial vinyl. We put it through our entire house. I have little kids and they're hard on things. And so we wanted something that would keep up to them and keep up to our household. And we chose this. And it's held up beautifully. Another reason we chose this is because most laminate stairs don't have a flush nosing that's flush to the floor. This locks right into the floor, has your bullnose edge. You can see the reveal here. And it just looks so seamless. It almost looks like an engineered floor as opposed to nosing that would sit actually on top of the riser and the tread. And it just kind of cheapens the whole floor look. So this turns out very, very well. Finished up the rest of the stringers here, taped them on. It was pretty boring, so I didn't want to put you through that. I put this filler strip in just to save the laminate flooring, so we're just gonna pop that off, start fitting and nosing. So I'm happy with the way the nosing fits. Now we're gonna go back to gluing. Again, just put enough on that it grabs, but we use a little pry bar to lift the floor, and we're gonna try to get under without unclipping the floor, of course. So I have the floor fit now, just dry fit. And how we cut our nosings is you notch out this end so that it can fit over your stringer on both sides. And then it should just lay right in there. Nice and flush. You're gonna have to do some adjustments with some glue, of course, and some weight. We're going to take this piece out and we'll take this second last piece out, and I want to glue them. I want to glue underneath this piece as well, so that the glue is in between the nosing and this next board here. So we'll put that off to the side. We'll get our glue out. That angle, it looks pretty good. But from this angle, you can see that there's some slight height differences. And you definitely don't want that. So now what we're gonna do is find some weight, put some weight on this, and weigh it down and tape it all together and let it dry. All right, so now we have the nosings on and glued down. I let them sit for about a day, and they turned out really nice. So let them sit for a day, let the glue dry, and now all we have left to do is fit our stringer caps. So the trick to cutting your stringer caps is make templates before you start cutting your real pieces. So as you can see here, I'm using strips of laminate, the same as the stairs, just so that I don't have to finish and stain it. And the only reveal we're gonna see is this side profile here, and you're not gonna see much of it, so it'll look pretty good. So what I did was I cut two pieces of scrap. I found my angle, I found my two angles at the bottom. It ends up being 36.5 degrees on each, so that we can get that miter proper. So just fool around with some small pieces until you figure out exactly what your angle is, and then you can start cutting your long pieces. So what I did was I just grabbed these two templates, and I just kept fitting them until they join up nice, until you find the right angle. So it's a little more difficult gluing the stairs together as opposed to pin nailing. If we were able to pin through this stuff, you could put one piece on at a time. Because we're gluing it down, we have to kind of make everything all at once and then get ready to glue it. And like I was showing you before, the reason we can't pin through this is a commercial grade luxury vinyl plank. And so you can see the core is actually cement. So supposedly this stuff can be submerged underwater for up to 30 days and reused. And so if you try to pin nail through it, it will reject the pin. It'll pop it back out. It'll shoot towards you. It's not a good idea. So in this case, we have to glue everything. And because we have to glue it, we want to dry fit everything again. Like I was telling you earlier, dry fit everything. So that works pretty good. 36.5 degree angle on the bottom, 20 degree angle up top, and that'll get you close. So you can see how fast it goes when it's all pre-cut, ready to go. So I just taped it on there the best I possibly can. We'll let the glue dry, and then we will do some final touch-ups and siliconing. And we're gonna do the exact same thing on this side. All right, guys and girls, we got the stairs complete. Let's see what the lady of the house thinks, because it doesn't matter what you and I think. It only matters what she thinks. So let's go see. Babe.
Yeah.
What do you think of the stairs?
They look so good. A really good job.
Thank you. They turned out very, very nice. And it's always super nice shortening up that to-do list.
Well, you still have a bit of a list to go. Sorry, babe.
All right. Well, Goliath gets it done. See you on the next one.